Any reason why you should be looking up at me in the cab? Drive forward 10 foot there, son.
At least we didn't come here for one angle. Where's the sir? Let's hear the sir. Sir!
We're taking a right for a run here. We're going to gather up some stuff, but seeing as we brought a load of concrete and done some testing with the old trailer to see how good she was in the corners, we thought maybe check the wheel studs before we go and do anything more with her. What we're doing right now is going to put a big bar on, and I've got my mechanic with me to make sure it's done right.
What, jump on the bar? It's not really too hard, like.
Ah, well, now you know yourself, I might not do it right, Mark, you know. Well,
Pretty tight.
sweet.
Yeah, we get all the comments going, oh, you're doing that wrong, Mark.
Better safe than sorry. It's good to see they are tight. She always looks well in the sun, hey. I really should wash her before I do these videos. I took her out to stay long hauling and got her sort of a wee brown scat on her. Sure, it's working clothes. Good to see a man working. I'm really loving having my in-house technician and mechanic as part of the team now. I really think it's fantastic, because all them techie jobs and now the mechanical jobs.
Sure you could do this, John.
I could, yes. So today's video is featuring Mer Concrete, who are supplying the weights for the trailers and the safety margin around the box. So we're going to get a bit of a tour of their place, see what else they do, what else they have product wise, and generally have a wee day out. Rush hour and rush in. Some hill there. She wants to bomb down at 55k. Woo! We'll park her here, see what happens. So this is David. David was my point of contact whenever I first arrived at MERS. And this is Connell.
Connell.
Well, how long has MERS been running? Like, I mean, it must be a long time since the scale of the place, like.
45 years this year, I think it is. Went from a one-man operation to 185 at the minute, I think.
Albert started pouring single slabs in his backyard to this.
He started that and then moved here after, not sure how many years now, maybe 4 or 5 years.
Aye.
And started as a small shed which we were factory 2 years. Kind of joined factory 1 and 4. And that was the original, the start of the factories, I suppose, and it's expanded to 9 now in total. And
hopefully a few more in the next few years. Well, that's Lego blocks here at the back. These are a bigger size than the ones that we're selling to the event.
I saw you give us an option of two sizes. We deliberately went for the not as tall ones to lower the centre of gravity.
Yeah.
So like ours are what, 1.6 tonne? What weight's that?
2.36.
Yes.
So big difference in weight, but not a massive difference in size. This is them and the mould.
Yes.
That's the one we poured this morning.
Yes.
You can feel it's still a bit wet. Easy to pour, but just a lot of concrete in it.
Yeah.
So it looks as simple as filling the mould.
There's no steel reinforcement in that at all, it's pure concrete.
Just lifters.
Well, is there one side it's hard to get that perfectly smooth finish on? Is it this side here?
Side here, because that's the floated side, so that's just done with a float, whereas the inside of the mould's perfectly smooth.
Well, what all's made in this building beyond the Lego blocks?
Well, this is more a civil factory, so these are just sort of put in here, filling up for the concrete that's come to this factory. The likes of these Redrock here, that's all civil products. If we go up a factory, I can show you a lot more aggregate products. Lorries coming in with aggregate, up the ramp, tip into the hopper.
You're mixing all your own cement?
Yeah, and lime and stuff like that down in there and into that big hopper, blow into the big hopper.
Yes.
Big silo at the back, so split into different compartments, so sand, stone, all the different sands, all the different sizes of stones.
How much water are you consuming a day and mixing concrete like?
A lot, but we can recycle it.
Yes.
You can use recycled water. A big common product that we sell a lot of, bunker walls.
Yes.
So they come like that.
I think I've seen these at Clyde's place.
Yeah, he has, I think he has 8 foot.
Well, is that like for grain stores or silos or what?
Mostly grain. You can make them a bigger profile for silage if needs be. Again, another
Your L shape would be more for the silage.
more for silage pits. So it is. So again, turn them up the same way. Load the silage onto the toe first, which holds them in place.
Yeah.
And then you can do the other side if needs be. So really the weight of the silage is what holds them down. They're freestanding. A 10-foot one would be about 2 ton. So they're not. It takes a brave wee nudge for them to be moved.
It's still manageable for a telehandler.
Yeah. Surprisingly, the amount of stuff that's sitting here, it's if you rang in, there's not a lot of availability. So there's not.
Well, what's the driving force now? Is it just demand, or is there a material shortage, or a space shortage?
Well, it's really just demand. The likes of some of the stuff that's in stock, sometimes they order it but they don't want it straight away. Things like that. Especially all the price increases and stuff that's happening. Some people want to try and get everything on order.
Yes. They're not necessarily needing it.
Yeah.
But like me, not just left my blocks yet because I don't need them yet.
Yeah. But we accommodate if we can. Something for you there.
Aye, we John Deere. Is that part of the fleet, is it?
Oh, that's Wilbert's baby, that.
Yes.
So it is. Wilbert got that for his birthday.
He didn't go for an R series, no?
No. That there's been about it's been about it.
I'm looking around thinking Wilbert could afford an R series now, if I'm honest.
But the problem is, there's no need for an R series around here.
Yeah, it's just too good for what you're doing. The big thing you guys are doing for us is on the pole, which is the reason we're here. It isn't just supplying the weight for the trailers, but there's a barrier, a safety margin going right round the entire box. Have we one of those near hand we can see?
Down there, yeah.
Yeah. What was this your mum was power washing on the way in?
And a big civil thing, I'm not sure what it is, but there'd be acid on it for acid etching.
Right.
And then that'll be all getting washed off.
Yes. There's a pattern there on this side of it. To look fancy.
Aye. Too fancy for the agri side. Out there.
So these is what we're borrowing?
Yeah. We can unload and offload quick. Pallet toes in, set them down.
Yeah.
Job done.
We're planning to put them end to end the whole way around the box, is the theory.
Yeah.
So, and it's only a precaution. Like, I don't want anyone anywhere near them.
Yeah. No, I know.
You know yourself?
No, well look, with the weight of them, they're 2.1 ton. So if someone hits them, it's going
That's my expectation, that will slow a tractor down now if he hits one of them. Like,
I wouldn't just ask someone to try it.
You don't think when something hits it, it'll just take the block with it and it'll slide?
No.
It'll dig in and it'll stop.
Was a boy at one of the ports that bought them. Hit one, he was in here one day, I was talking to him, and it was painted red and white, we can paint them for you. Yes. And it looked like the plastic one.
I seen one on the way in there.
He thought it was plastic, tried to bump it. It didn't move.
There's a bit of haulage in this, boys. What, about 6 or 8 load?
I would say there'd be at least 8 loads, but no problem.
No problem to you
No
boys?
problem.
That's not so bad.
Right, ma'am.
Did you hear that out there shifting them for free? Did you hear that?
Aye, not much free around here.
Aye, there's the painted ones there.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's quite a nice finish on them. Are these painted in the factory or painted afterwards?
In the factory. They're not that easy painted at all,
Yes.
especially like this.
Aye.
Alright if one side was red and one side was white.
Yes, got you. I suppose you'd be looking to charge more painted then as well.
100%.
Old David's manners.
Out with a wee brush. Well, like, how far will you be shipping products? Like, concrete's obviously the limiting factor is the weight of the stuff. How far you're willing to pay in transport?
Yeah.
All over UK.
Everywhere.
Down
Whole
to
UK.
Wales, right up to Scotland, down to the islands. That's one of our biggest bit is stockers, merchant wise.
Yes.
We have a pile of them over here and England, Scotland and Wales. We're currently trying to get a few more down south. They would buy it off us and then they would sell it on.
Yeah.
So it cuts the transport out for the customers down there.
Okay.
So they may buy a full load at a time, which makes it far more cost effective.
Yes. Yes.
But there's only certain products they can really do that with. Drinkers, fencing posts, things like that.
Well, this is what, a typical field drinker size? Or is this a typical field drinker size now?
At home that would still be our drinker size.
Yes. Yes.
But there's a lot of boys who will not be content until they have this.
That's some bathtub there, sir.
It's 500 gallon.
500 gallon, aye.
We've had photos sent in by customers of boys bathing in them when the weather's good.
Why does it need to be so big?
Places with poor water supply and stuff
Over
like
in
that.
England, like places with a lot of cows.
It's just hard to imagine the cows not being patient enough to take turns.
Well, there's some of them boys would have what? Well over 1,000 cows.
Oh, aye. In our drinkers, there's galvanised lids,
Yes.
things like that. So that comes with it. The ballcock bracket comes with it.
Yes.
Bungs, especially them bigger ones, there's 2 bung holes in them. The biggest selling factor is, as you can see, round the edges,
Yes.
smooth,
Yes.
animal health really.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, round the edges and the good finish on them is probably the biggest selling factor.
People have bought smaller ones and used them, like in glamping pods, as like hot tubs,
Yes.
stuff like that. People use them for all kinds of stuff.
Coming up the harvest, your bunker walls will start going a bit more for grain.
Always about preparing them.
Just coming the last minute, boys. Before first cut silage,
You just have a wee bit of stock built up, expecting them boys.
we
come
try
you.
to.
Aye.
Because you'll always get a couple of people before silage. I'm lifting silage tomorrow.
Yeah.
Something you could do, and if we have no stock, then we're beat.
Well, how long is the stuff sitting in a precast mould before you can pop it back out and park it?
It's poured today, it'll be out tomorrow, and then sit 7 days and out.
Needs 7 days to really set.
7 days to cure. It'll keep on curing up to 28, but 7 days will be strong enough to transport and use.
So the man using it tomorrow in his edge pit can't have a week-old one. He needs a month-old one.
Well, you would ideally.
Yes.
But most of the labels and stuff that's on the products will have dates on them, when it came out. So that's sort of how you track that.
How many tons of concrete a day are you mixing and pouring?
It's got to 300.
300 a day.
The factories will set up the mould, then they have a wee computer in every factory and they order concrete on that computer and gets sent to the batching plant. And there's someone in the batching plant who then types it into the computer, it mixes it, and a wee monorail the whole way around the factories.
But I think there's no variance really in this product needs that type of concrete and this product needs that type of concrete. It's all
different.
It is all different?
Yeah.
So surely there's a chaos of trying to deliver this type of concrete to that wing of the factory and all the different product lines.
They all have different codes, all the concretes have different codes. So they type in the code and that's what's sent to the batching plant. So they just put in that code, it mixes it, drops it into the hopper, and that hopper takes it to the certain factory, tips it into their bin. Then the factory will take a bin, another bin, put it in below it, empty into that, crane it up, take it to the mould, empty it.
We're doing a lot of work at the minute on the kind of environmental side.
Yes.
So when you're talking about the different mixes, we poured bunker walls with zero cement in them, using earth-friendly concrete. There's things like GGBS, which is a byproduct of the steel industry that's used as an alternative to cement. We've poured stuff up to 8% GGBS in it, so you're reducing your carbon footprint massively by doing that, because on concrete
I was about to say, is the pressure coming on because of the whole net zero craze?
It isn't, because we do a lot of half the business agri, half it's civil, so you get it from both sides. A lot of pressure on farmers now, and it's getting worse it seems. So
if you want your fix of livestock, machinery, harvesters, grass, slurry, head over to the Farmflix website now and take a free trial.
Trevor?
Aye.
Trevor, a local legend, is he?
The local celebrity. He always gets a bit of attention.
As you can see, turn the forklift off, just wondering what's happening.
I'll go say hello to him here.
Aye.
See what happens. How's Trevor? Hold on. Turn that off. Turn that off there. What's the crack, Trevor?
Fly
Fly.
all the time.
You fly out every day, are you? You weren't flat out a minute ago there, you were just sitting watching me.
That's the favorite boys.
What are you at? Are you main forklift man around here?
Well, not the main man. Third and best.
Third best? Yes. Well, do you shift the same thing every day or do you get a bit of a variation with it?
You get a bit of a... Not every day. You can load lorry some days red factory. You always get missing.
This is your weapon, I guess, you're not...
This is my number one weapon.
Well, should you change or not?
She was big due to change, yes. It's over 10, 100,000 miles hours on it.
100,000?
10,000.
10,000 hours on her. Is she on her original tyres, is she?
No. You were a fourth set.
What's she like in winter?
No, she want to be the warmest thing in the winter now, so.
You think in heated cabs in the next one?
Why, yes, doors now.
Then a bit of air conditioning for the summer?
Yes.
Yeah, aye.
Well, this is the best one for the air conditioning. Take that off and then you have room freezing.
Yes. It's all a nice hot day there, it'd be nice to get the proper air conditioning, like, wouldn't it?
No, that's it.
I'll maybe buy you a better one this next time around. You know yourself, they're getting on well, like.
There's the cranes that I was talking about there, running them beams. That yellow crane just goes back and forward.
Aye.
So it'll just hook up.
I was looking at cranes one night and I realised, see, your vertical crane with the arm that swings around anywhere, Like, that's only fit for 630 kilos versus 8 ton whenever you prop it to the two ends. Like, it's phenomenal difference. I take it then, the boys that start mixing the concrete for the morning have to start their days, do they?
They all start at the same time. Because most of the factories have to demold first. You know, all them molds will sit overnight full.
Yes.
So the first thing they do in the morning is have to get them out, clean the molds, steel in the molds.
So it's really afternoon when you start pouring like crazy?
Well, some will be starting at 5, like, so.
Boys in here early and got a lot done then. The pouring maybe start around 8.
So, whenever we're only getting up, these boys are.
We're just down the door and they've 3 hours done nearly, someone.
Booyah! Take our time on the first one.
So we bought that machine. See those big arches just beside you there? Called a Bebo arch. That's what that machine was bought in here for. Maybe one of the biggest items we were moving.
Oh, those pre-stressed beam there.
Stress beam. 7 it'll fit inside the span of the crane, whereas before we were having to pay an outside contractor to come in with a mobile crane to bring them out of the factory and then to load them again. Whereas with this one here now, everything can be done in-house.
Can you wheel this right into the factory, or you keep it right here?
There's no factories at the minute that are big enough for her to fit in, but there are plans where we're standing here for factories to be built that she can drive into.
Well, what kind of investment's this thing?
At the time she was bought, she was $500,000. And Combi told us that was a good deal at that time.
Aye. How many years ago was that?
That's 5.5 years ago.
Oh, she'd be near $1 million now. Like.
Oh, she would be. But whenever they worked out what they were paying a crane hire company to come in and do that there, over those 5 years, it was the same as what they were paying. Plus she'll do far more work in the yard.
She doesn't move too fast.
No, and I know that seems slow, but there's plenty of control with it at the same time. It is a very, very easily controllable machine.
I'll be different story if you're working with something mad heavy like.
Aye.
I'd let her, you're not far away, I'd let her down a wee bit to the steer near the ground. Look how easy that was. You happy? We may have to be faster on the pull day though.
We had a lot of trouble when that machine first came in with the ground, been soft. See, whenever it took very little for that to get stuck. And once she did get stuck, at 65 tonne, it's not easy to get that thing pulled out again.
Yeah.
So thankfully, the yard's well packed in now and well tramped in.
Once you're on the concrete though, you're alright.
Once you're in the concrete, you're alright, but concrete's in short supply.
Yes. What shortage of concrete around here?
I don't know where you were going to get it. I don't know where.
Do you want me to keep my hand to it?
Tell you what I'll do. I'll get up on the trail and then we'll just guide it in.
You'll know yourself once you pick it up what way it leans if we have to change the changeover before you pick it. You're going to go all the way around for you.
All the way around.
Maybe not.
It'll go every way but the way you want it to. There's a brave squad of us about the place train, you know, if there's a boy off or something like that there, you're busy. We have a new star coming in there too, we're getting him trained on.
The big procedure getting trained for this thing like?
It's more time in the seat, it's more time using it, I find. There's a lot of classroom based stuff as far as doing the lifting operations. But you maybe find yourself any sort of machinery you're operating, there's time in the seat. Right there, see as you look at that beam, if you stand back and look at that beam, one side rises faster than the other. Right? The way it was explained to me was basically your pump's on one side of the machine and the pipe's feeding one end has a further distance to travel than the other, so there's a bit of a lag between the one and the other. Now they talked about putting a reducer on the other side to level it out. They explained it to us was then whenever you put big weight on it, he says it'll just flip round. He says the other side will end up being slow. He said listen, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So it's just a matter of keeping that in mind. It's handy sometimes if you're setting down something big, you can touch down one side independently of the other till you get the thing lined up, you know, so you've got that extra level of control.
Just getting to know your machine like it.
That's what it's about, aye. Well, she spends most of her time in that top yard there, but she'll climb that ramp and all.
Walk her all the way up there.
Full distance, aye.
She's not the too short on diesel, taking over most of the time.
To be honest, it wouldn't be. It's a 4-cylinder John Deere, reasonably fresh engine, so again, she's not, all she's doing is running a pump. That's the one thing you need to be careful of if you're loading lorries. Just remembering that if you've got a big long beam, you can touch the back of a cab very handy there when you're setting something down.
Wouldn't be much crack out here in the rain.
No, the rain or the snow, the blizzards would be a good one too. Sometimes wonder could they put a canopy over the top of it here?
Yes. It's a bit of a wind tunnel though. You need a big canopy.
Big canopy. The right gust of wind would soon lift it. That was another thing too. We had contractors from across the water asking the question, if there was bad weather, did that mean we couldn't load things here? But given how much weight's involved in the machine and the stuff we're lifting, it would take a big wind to...
Yeah.
There's a lorry driver used to get stuff loaded in here, and his famous words were, "It's all right, it's coming off again."
How's Derek? Watch you not get run over now.
I know, I see it. Hard to miss it.
You just want to be a celebrity. You just.
What's wrong, Mark? What's wrong?
3 times I tried to get that shot and you're on it 3 times.
Well, how did I know the first 2 times you wanted that shot?
I mean, why is Derek the legend that he is?
Oh, Trevor.
Trevor. You just told me that he's famous, that he draws a lot of attention.
Aye. Heart of gold. Keep my nation going, but heart of gold. If Trevor can help you out, he'll help you out.
Yes, that's the kind of people you need in your life.
Aye. We're not that bad out around the yard, especially, you know, you're stuck and you need a hand. There'll always be somebody somewhere who'll pull you out, nobody will see you stuck. And generally, because you are stuck, is when you come looking for somebody. It's the stuff like that there you need to be watching for in a yard like this here, is when you dip off the ground, and then it's those dips there would actually cause it to spin. If you see on the other side, but she does actually have, I wouldn't call it suspension, but she does actually have flex. There's a bearing and a pivot design, so she will actually move with the ground as she's going over it.
Oh, you couldn't have her rock solid like?
No, she never, not in a yard like this. Again, Monaghan. Which is good for us, because see any backup or support.
Yeah.
An hour and a half, 2 hours, the boys up here. And you're always dealing, literally the guy who built this machine was up here last week. They put fresh ropes on it, and he was telling me, he said, I remember, he says, you got it in the January. He said, I remember coming up to Christmas, he says, but in the factory, he says, putting the final touches and building this. So, not too often you would get that there. You don't even machine like that there, and the guy that literally built it is coming up to do the maintenance work on it. But generally, that's the way we work with all the maintenance in here. See, with the forklifts, they'll stick to the main agents, stick the genuine parts. Same with this here, like it was always Combi-Lift they used for servicing, it was always Combi-Lift parts put on it, and the machine has been reliable as a result of that there. As you're nearly doing a hill start in a car, you're sort of trying to balance the handbrake and the throttle to get her to sit.
So she has no actual telescopic slide that way, it's all done on the wheels in that path.
Aye. That's one of the tidiest loads I've ever set on.
You're pleased with yourself?
As well as saying that one's staying on for a while.
Aye.
She'd hardly call that a day's work.
Do you want to have a go? I'll give you a go. Good to see you two boys getting your hands dirty. He's not listening. He's not listening.
Right, man. Thanks very much. Once again. Appreciate the support. That's us fully loaded. What are which is? 28,300. Right, I'm gonna go home. You feel that, oh man. But then we are in a flat yard. Do you know about that hill I came down this morning on the way in? It was 55 k's, you was wanting a horse on and more than that. So she'll be knowing about it up the hill. 30k up this hill. We're not in the steepest bit yet. Nearly give her a gear, but I can see the big hill in front of me, but she's not going to take another gear. Up to 32 again. That would test the tractor there, that would warm the back end of the tractor. Pulling that all day. Oh, this is a tight pull here. 26, 24, 17, 16. We're going to have to go for the D-box. 17, 18, we're by the worst. She very nearly would have come up that. She just had it hung on a wee bit better.